제127회 모자를 썼다가 벗었어.
안녕하세요. Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Speak Korean. I'm your host Lisa Kelly and welcome to our 127th episode.
Oh.
I know.
Almost over 3 more episodes.
I feel your pain. All right, today's focus expression is 모자를 썼다가 벗었어. I had it on and then I took it off. What? My hat. Okay, so I had my hat on, but I took it off earlier. All right, let's take our hats off for our friend. Hi, Steve.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Nice little change over there. 안녕하세요. I'm Stephen Revere. Thank you all for joining us. One of the biggest headaches in Korean, how to say where. English is not so bad, where, but with Korean, it's very challenging. We're going to get into that today with our 2 students.
안녕하세요, 네오미입니다.
안녕하세요, 디입니다.
Right, and as Stephen said, yeah, in the English language, wearing, okay, you can just usually say put it on or take it off, and this pretty much pertains to anything, which starting from shoes, socks, your clothes, down to your accessories, and even perfume, you put it on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, when you get to Korean, we've got a word for every single one.
New verb for everything.
Every
isn't it?
item,
Yeah.
every single item. So it becomes a big pain memorizing which a verb goes with which noun, but we'll get into that very soon. Here is Let's Do It.
Let's do it.
왜 그 모자를 안 썼어?
너무 더워서 썼다가 벗었어.
Okay, we were talking about fashion for a second there right before. We had an
Sorry, let's
argument
do it,
over how fashionable men are, and we were saying that women dress men, and that's why men look good. We don't want to get into that. We'll get into the argument here.
Let's get into Let's do it.
Okay, our first expression was 왜 그 모자를 안 썼어? Okay, we all know 왜 그래, 왜. Okay, why? Okay, so why didn't you wear that hat? So this is a hat that you've previously seen on Stephen,
Yeah.
right?
Probably, maybe somebody bought you this hat. You've already been discussing this hat. That's why you're saying that hat. Why didn't
hat
you
you
wear
know
that
of already,
hat?
right?
Yeah. So why didn't you wear that hat is what this amounts to. It's pretty simple, as Lisa was saying. 왜, why, 그 모자를, that hat, plus objective marker, 안 썼어, didn't, 안 is not, otherwise known as didn't in our instance in English. Didn't you wear that, right?
Okay, let's practice that. It's a very simple sentence. 왜 그 모자를 안 썼어? 왜 그 모자를 안 썼어?
왜 그 모자를 안 썼어?
왜 그 모자를 안 썼어?
And those of you who are new to the program, that might be a little complicated sentence, but we've already taught all this stuff before a couple of times. I think you should be pretty familiar with it. And the past tense came up there too. 쓰다 is the verb for to wear, for a hat. And then turn it into the past tense. You have to conjugate it. All gets put in there instead of the falls away. And then you get the double 상시et, the double S there. 썼어.
Right. And like we said at the beginning of our program, the most difficult thing about today's lesson is memorizing all the verbs, which verbs go with which nouns. For example, in English, it's very simple. We said but. In turn, in English, it's very difficult because when we talk about loaves of bread,
Well,
and,
other stuff
you know,
is
like
difficult,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. So that kind of balances out the languages. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, the most obvious thing is clothes. Okay, and I think you know which verb we use with clothes. This is a very common one.
입다.
입다. Okay,
To
옷을
wear.
입다.
입다.
옷을 입다.
합장으로 해봅시다. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
하나, 둘, 셋.
옷을
옷을 입다.
Okay, another one. Okay, we have to wear our shoes. Okay, 신발을 어떻게 하지?
신다.
Okay, let's do it together. 신발을 신다.
신발을 신다.
We did wearing a hat, right? Which was?
쓰다.
Okay, 모자를 쓰다. All right, now let's get into the difficult stuff. We're
They're
going into
even more difficult.
accessories, okay? In English, all you have to do is say wear or put on, and it covers pretty much everything down.
That's one thing we should mention. All these verbs mean to wear and to put on as
Right.
well. Yeah.
But then in accessories in Korean, we've got a different one for each one. So let's start with this one. Your gloves for your hands, and for your fingers, the rings. Okay, so everything that goes on your hand, okay, down to your wrist, which verb do we use for this? 끼다.
끼다. Yeah.
Very good, okay? So let's try that together. Okay, 장갑을 끼다,
장갑을 끼다.
반지를 끼다.
반지를 끼다.
Do you know the verb for earrings?
귀걸이.
Okay, that's the
noun.
That's the noun for
귀걸이.
okay. And then 목걸이 and 귀걸이, we just say 하다. Okay, isn't that interesting? Okay, so
To do.
귀걸이를 하다,
귀걸이를 하다.
목걸이를 하다.
목걸이를 하다.
Okay, and then earlier we mentioned 시계를 차다, and you can say 끼다 as well. You can say 끼다 for 반지. You can actually say 끼다 for any of those, but that's not the official verb that you use for that. Okay, and then one last thing, when you take things off, okay, for your socks, your shoes, etc., you can say 벗다. Okay,
All the same. Isn't that
or
nice? Take off
빼다
is all
for
the
your
same.
accessories.
Ah,
빼다. Okay?
accessories is 빼다. So you got two.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right, let's practice our answer. Okay, our response for this was 너무 더워서 썼다가 벗었어. Okay, because it was too hot, we know everything up to there, right? 썼다가, past tense here, we had it on, and then 벗었어, we took it off. Steven?
You're showing that an action is all finished when you put the past tense. We had 하다가 말았어. I didn't do it, or I was doing something, and then I stopped doing it, right? 먹다가 then
말았어.
something else happened, and I didn't get to finish my food, right? Well, this one, the past tense is stuck in there now, isn't it, right? 썼다가 벗었어. So I was wearing it, and then I took it off. You're just showing that the action is totally completed. I was doing this, and then I stopped doing it, okay?
Okay, let's try some other things where the action is going on and then it's changed to something else. Earlier, Stephen said 먹다가, a general thing that many people say is 먹다가 말았어. I started eating it and then I kind of set it aside, okay? So I stopped
Something else
eating
happened,
it.
I couldn't finish.
Right.
Right.
Another example would be 버스를 타다가 got on it and then 내렸어. 버스를 타다가 내렸어.
탔다가, yeah, we
탔다가,
gotta use,
sorry.
put the past tense in there to show it was all over with, right?
Right.
Yeah. 탔다가 내렸어.
And then in the summer, we need a nice breeze. How would you say, I opened the window and then I ended up closing it again?
창문을 열었다가 닫았어.
Very good.
Very good. And in Korea, of course, every time we enter a building, we've got to take off our shoes. So we had our shoes on, and then we took it off when we entered the restaurant.
신발을 신었다가
Good.
벗었어.
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 Earlier we said the take off was 벗었다.
신었다가 벗었어. I have 5 feet. I can't ignore Naomi. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's move on to wrap it up
Wrap it up.
with Lisa.
And Steven.
스티븐, 정말 덥다.
나도 너무 더워서 옷을 입었다가 벗었어.
스티븐!
Okay, we heard in there 더워서 옷을 입었다. 벗었어. Okay, we
took off
put it
my
on and we took it off.
I can't believe they drew me half naked there.
No, but
is
the
that?
funny thing here in Korea is when you go to, especially European countries or in Western countries, it's perfectly
Go to the
acceptable to
beach.
maybe take off your shirt, not only at the beach, but on a very hot summer day. You know, we can take our shirts off, and men can have a white shirt underneath, or no
Not
shirt.
here.
Yeah, or just wearing trunks. You can walk down the street. Okay, maybe not everywhere, but most places. But here, they are shocked when you do that, and everyone will
You
stare.
go to the beach and everybody's wearing T-shirts. I can't
Right.
believe it's weird.
It's still
I
not
take off my shirt. I'm the
acceptable.
only guy at the beach with no shirt on.
And they're like, that foreigner. Okay. And of course, in summer days here in Korea, it's really hot during the day, and all of a sudden it gets nighttime, and you need to put on a jacket. So, as a final review, why don't we say that we didn't have our clothes on, but we put it on because it got cold. Start with 추워서.
Took it off and then I put it on. Okay.
추워서 옷을 벗었다가 입었어.
Very good, Naomi. Nichi?
추워서 옷을 벗었다가 입었어요.
Very good. You know, I see such an improvement from like way back when Nichi first came on the show. Great job.
Our students are improving all the time. I
They
love
are.
it.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and please join us back here next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. And in the meantime,
아리랑키.